Hello, everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm Kyle Bossman, the Dark Prince of Nerd Media. Joining us this week, Bradley Ellis.
Hi.
Michael Damiani.
How's it going?
Daniel Bloodworth.
Hello.
And making this all happen, Ian Hink. Hello. May I share a Dark Prince story?
No.
Before we get started. So Jeff Keighley tweeted a photograph of me with my hood up, and it said Darth Bossman.
Yes.
However, many replies to that tweet said the Dark Prince of Nerd Media. Appropriately.
Every single picture of you now says that.
Yeah. And so Keighley comes to me and says, "What's the Dark Prince of Nerd Media?"
Good. It's a thing now. It's
And I
officially
say,
a thing.
it's a podcast joke. And he goes, "Oh, they call you the Dark Prince of Nerd Media?" And I say, "No, that's what I call myself, and everyone else hates it." And he just goes, "Oh."
Is he jealous?
Wow.
End of conversation.
No, he probably thought it was really stupid. But
Yeah.
I love
Kyle,
that.
that was the thing. That was what was so glorious about that tweet. Was like in that moment, and I like forwarded it to Brandon. I'm like, in this moment, Kyle is having to explain this. to
Yeah,
Jeff
you were
Keighley.
right. You were totally right. I had to explain it, and I could not. It's immortal now. Now there's no going back. No, you know when it was immortal was when Huber said, "I don't like it."
That's what usually happens when
That's
we say
what
we don't
happens.
like
Yes.
something. It lasts.
It's solidified.
Even the one who cannot be named.
Yeah. Let's do corrections. Daniel Bloodworth, begin corrections music, please. Song 2 by Blur was written as a sort of joke song. It's meant to be stupid, and I feel bad for characterizing it incorrectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damiani knew that. Okay. RE7, Resident Evil 7, has sold 6.8 million copies. RE2, we learned just this week, sold over 5 mil.
Bam.
Hell yeah.
Sold the
Yeah.
original version.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Super Tetris is real. Came out on PC in 1991.
So I wouldn't have been out.
You got robbed. You got robbed.
Ouch.
Also, I did live say that those numbers were probably not accurate on the Resident Evil sales.
But now we got them.
Now we
Bases
got 'em.
covered.
The segment is secretly called Corrections and Clarifications.
Right.
It's just a mouthful.
Totally.
And
Is this
corrections
speaker
music,
louder
please.
It's angled up.
Okay.
It's angled upward.
But end the music already.
And
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Thank you.
Good job, Blake.
Oh, that music. My ears.
Is the speaker louder?
I'm sorry. I'm hearing Ian too much. Oh, blood.
Oh,
All
dude.
right. I do have a fun fact. Before we get into our podcast, I wanted to share this fun fact. This is from Marlon Carrero. Did you know the word assassin comes from hashish? The Arabs of the medieval era had groups of killers for hire that would hide in Middle Eastern and Asian mountains and would smoke tons of hashish between missions. They were called hashishans by people from the surrounding regions, and this word slowly morphed into the modern word assassin.
Is this real?
I'm pretty sure a version of this was in like the early Assassin's Creed games.
Like they just get stoned out of their
Terminology
mind and
here.
like that's their whole deal?
Also, dude, I just came up with an amazing idea for a Seth Rogen movie.
Oh, dear. Here we go.
Dude, we gotta kill this guy, but I'm way too high to do it.
This is for medicinal purposes only.
Poor guy, man.
What do you mean, poor guy?
He got pigeonholed, dude.
I'm gonna write that movie.
Okay.
He did that himself.
I do like that they just chill. Probably because it's very stressful to have to murder somebody.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they just go up in the mountains and chill until it's time for them to murder again.
Actually, I made a web series called Hitmaning that I completely forgot about until right now, and it's kind of that vibe.
Okay.
Stoner comedy.
A stoner comedy by Ian Hink. Let's play Santa's video game advisory board. Oh, yeah. So this is where Santa forwards us some of the messages he gets. He gets a lot of requests for video games, and he doesn't really know how to handle them. He doesn't really know if this dream video game should be made. And this one comes from Default Option. Dear Santa, I want a first-person shooter like Call of Duty that is meant to be played so fast-paced that if you stay still for more than 2 seconds, your character spontaneously combusts until unless you're capturing an objective. You call the game Adrenaline, and it brings about the end of camping forever.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Camping. No
Yeah.
camping.
So this segment is stealth. Like, I kind of just like this idea. I kind of like this idea.
This sounds super fun.
I almost
dude.
feel
good
like
idea.
you should
Yeah.
like have wheels instead of feet.
Okay.
You
So
just can never stop. There's never a break.
I'm sorry, are we humans with wheel feet?
Sure.
Okay, so we're humans with wheel feet.
Yeah, they're just your feet though. You still have legs.
They're like grafted on, and it's disgusting.
Yeah.
But I think that works. And so there we have breaks in that you can slow down, but you can never come to a complete stop.
Mm-hmm.
This is awesome.
Yeah, dude. Next esport.
Next esports adrenaline. Would there actually be a problem, thinking pragmatically for a second, could you actually make a game where you can't stop?
Easily.
I think you easily could,
Yeah,
right?
I think you can. Yeah.
I think the screen cheat guys should do it.
Yes.
Sure.
Can we talk to them?
Let's call them up.
They're in Australia. They're probably waking up right now.
Yeah.
By the way, we're recording this podcast late Thursday night,
Yeah.
right after the Game Awards.
Thankfully, the neighbors haven't been too loud yet.
They're actually pretty chill.
They're asleep.
There might be some Hashishans downstairs. Okay, Santa, that was just an easy one. We're making that game. You have to make
Yeah,
that
dude.
game. Too easy. Thank you. Though, Damiani, you seemed apprehensive.
Oh, you combined like two of my least favorite things.
Movement.
First person, and I can't stand around and like figure out how to do. Like when I play a Call of Duty game,
Yeah.
the rare times I play it,
Yeah.
I'm not constantly. I'm sitting around like looking at stuff, and it's just like, nope.
So what if we give you a suit of armor for the first minute? Where you...
No, just give him like weights so
I
his
can-
character moves slower.
Okay.
I can see that this would be an interesting concept to watch. Mm-hmm. So
What's it going to take to get you to play this game, dude?
I'm just not gonna play.
VR
Kyle.
only.
It's
Okay.
okay. Yeah,
Final
VR
Fantasy
only.
Yeah.
14 integration or something.
It's not Damiani's
Put
wish.
platforming.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm just trolling.
All right.
What if it takes place in the Speed universe, and the villain has put bombs on everyone, and if they stop moving, they explode? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's basically it. Yeah.
Isn't there
that
hard
Speed 4?
modes and like a racing game?
Speed
that has
4,
that?
adrenaline.
as well?
Yeah, I hate to tell the person making a wish that they're wrong, but even if you're capturing an objective, you can't stop.
No, yeah, don't.
You just
have to
gotta move
circle.
You get a
Slow.
strafe.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah,
a circle strafe.
Ooh,
while
you
you're
have
doing
to
it. There you
circle
go.
strafe,
There you
yes.
go. Circle strafe.
You cannot stop.
Actually, take it one further. Like you have to capturing the thing involves like moving stuff or something. Like it's a part of it.
Oh. It's starting to sound like Onrush now.
Hey,
Now Blood's interesting.
except we're humans with
All right.
wheel
Wheel
feet.
feet.
Do not
Wheel
forget the
feet.
wheel
I like
feet.
the wheel feet.
But like in Onrush, like you have like a moving like capture the hill kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
There you go.
this
the
is.
hills move.
Essentially, yeah.
Oh,
Do you all remember my favorite way to start a podcast?
Game announcements.
Yeah, what could be better than
Corporate shakeups.
Console announcement.
a console announcement?
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Ooh.
When's next gen?
Holiday 2020. Oh. I forgot about this.
Still wasn't used at the Game Awards.
Would have been a little pricey.
You were producing that. You were
Yeah, so-
consulting on
Did
that.
you pitch it
should
at
have told
least?
them.
I got to learn how expensive it is to buy licensed tracks.
how much is getting Green
Yeah,
Day
that's
to
what
play
I
your
wanna
show?
know.
We actually were wondering that during the thing.
I'm
So
sure.
that I did not see. I think that is extremely expensive.
More than $1 million?
I don't know. I am curious, and I don't think Keely would ever tell us, right?
No, I don't think you'd.
250th song.
But like, there's a reason that there was only one licensed track in the whole show, and it was that "My Body Stop That Body" for Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that was it because
How
there's-
much did that cost?
Did the ones in the trailers not count, or did they paid for that?
That's a different thing.
The
Yeah,
companies
so they
pay for
handle
that,
those
yeah.
licensing. It's weird. Yeah,
And they're all weird covers, which is a little cheaper.
I don't think I'm allowed to say how much that costs.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably you
20
shouldn't.
bucks.
You shouldn't.
Okay, but I'll give them a little hint. 4 figures.
Well, yeah.
Okay, all right. I don't know. Okay. We had a console announcement tonight.
Is it it's like a console clarification?
I mean, we saw the console.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw the
An
thing.
unveiling.
The next Xbox Project Scarlet, is now known as Xbox Series X.
Yep. And they've now taken a somewhat simple thing and made it somewhat more complicated.
Explain that, Blood. What do you mean?
By calling it, number one, by calling it Series, which clearly indicates
Series
there's
X.
going to be more than one model of this thing.
Yes.
But they talk in their like press release.
Can I read it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is insane. This is insane. Xbox Series X will be our fastest, most powerful console ever and set a new bar for performance, speed, and compatibility, allowing you to bring your gaming legacy thousands of games into. Yes, they talk about it as if this thing, the Series X, is the console.
Is a singular console.
Yeah, that's so weird to me.
It's super weird. But then the X, like you've already got the Xbox One. Like how? Like you're just setting people up for confusion. I feel like.
Yes. What's your take, Damiani? You
What
were
I
ready
was
to
saying, 4
spit, dude.
console generations in one, baby.
They did emphasize
They
that.
had that on
Yeah,
their
okay,
page at the very
sure.
bottom. It's like 4 console generations in one. That's a big deal. I mean, I think they might just straight out the gate have multiple SKUs at the beginning.
That's what we talked about last week.
Yeah, like I think that it cements it that they're going to be doing this. It gives them the flexibility to. This is like their flagship brand now for like the next generation, but like a specific model might be called like the Xbox something number or whatever, like a model number or something. Just think about like how they call like graphics cards or whatever. They come up with a catchy name. They might call it the Xbox Scarlet or whatever, like that's the specific model of it.
Right.
I think what you saw is probably going to be their lead for their.
I think it's the X blank. And that's what we'll call it. It's good, like the XR, the XG. You know what I mean? I think what we saw.
Yeah.
And then like the other one is like the X Lite or something like
And
that.
I think it's going to play into like the fact that you said when we're watching doing the reactions, like Project X Cloud and like their other services, it's going to be something they could tie into like you might be playing this on a different box or something like that. So we need something that is all encompassing like this.
Yes.
And so I think that name and the reason it was revealed here and maybe not like at like their own unique event or even at E3, I bet by the time we see E3 roll around, they will have something more specific to call the unit or whatever. We'll have like a more proper name for the unit.
Yes.
And this was just like the umbrella term for us who are watching, like, the gamers watching, oh, here we go. This is what we should expect for it.
But
Let's
it's
talk
that
about-
language that's the problem, though.
That's their own PR.
Xbox Series X
Yes.
is a console.
Yeah.
It's not. They don't say is a series of consoles, a line of consoles. Our next group of.
Yeah,
it's like it doesn't
I
make
get that. I
sense.
get that. Yeah, they are contradictory, the description versus what we're expecting from like the name of it. But I think they're just not ready to talk about the other stuff yet. So it's like, let's just say console. Excuse me. We don't want to open that can of worms where people are like, hey, every interview, tell us more about the other systems and stuff. Like, what is this about? I think they need to have their proper like reveal event still, where they like showcase everything they want to showcase, and we'll get more answers at that. This was a very bare bones, but like unexpected. I'm surprised they did it in this fashion, but unique looking. It's so small.
We got to talk about this unit.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was
It's a pillar.
not what I was
Yeah.
expecting.
1 foot tall, 12 inches?
Yeah, 12 by 6.
12 by 6.
6. Yeah.
How do you know all this stuff?
They
It
have
was
a
in that
product
press
page
release.
on there.
Nice. Cool.
Sorry.
Cool. Yeah, this is a fun week where all the panel is way more research than I am. Because this was just a code word all
We
week.
were just half asleep scrolling through websites. Yeah. That well informed.
What's kind of interesting is like I did not know this thing was going to be announced tonight. This was just like another thing, and I kind of want to talk about it. I don't know if the Game Awards was the right venue for this announcement.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with it either. There seemed to be some discussion ahead of time with some outlets. Some outlets had some interviews that went up. I haven't even gotten to read them yet. That get some more information out of Phil Spencer
Yes.
about specifics, about like what's going in like under the hood of the system. And it's a lot to parse through right now. And it feels like the Game Awards is not about Xbox. It's about all this other stuff. And the fact in the past they've done a controlled event for this type of thing where all eyes are on them, even just showing off the form factor seemed a little strange to do now.
But I think more eyes were on Game Awards than are on an Xbox inside Xbox
Yeah.
or whatever.
I mean, that's true. And
There's a lot
even,
of eyes tonight.
and maybe
well,
I think
like
even more
almost
than
a
Xbox
million.
at E3, right? I actually think
Maybe, yeah.
I think they might get more viewers in at that point.
Yeah,
And I think the thing
That's
is,
a good point.
is it kind of fits into sort of how E3 has been shifting, to like it's more about digital streaming straight to the audience. And so like in the past, you would want to have that announcement at E3 or something because you would have all the journalists there and then everyone would crowd around and they would get their hands on the controller and they would take photos. And now for Xbox, it's like, well, we got 900,000 people watching, so why just do that? We don't need people to put their hands on it yet.
Yeah, man. So sorry, we didn't even finish really talking about what it looks like.
yeah.
It's a square cylinder, right?
But it's a pillar,
yes.
and then it's got like a vent on top that's got kind of like a
Cool events.
concave.
And it's a little green. That's where we get our
Yeah,
green light
like
coming
color
out, yeah.
light. Because the first glimpse, it looked like a PC tower, but then you saw it was just a column.
Yeah.
And it looked like Alexa and all that stuff, like, those personal assistant type things. It looks
does.
more in
It
that
looks like
vein
it,
and like
yeah.
that.
It can go sideways, I read.
Okay.
Yeah.
It can go,
Nice.
at least it can go sideways. Is the controller different?
It looks like the Elite
Yeah,
version
Ben
2.
said the D-pad is like
They're
the
calling it the wireless controller, and it has a D-pad derived from the Elite 2,
Yeah.
and it'll be compatible with Xbox One and PCs out of the box.
It also has a share button.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the middle button now.
Great.
Besides, yeah.
Great.
It's like one of the worst things.
Xbox clip that. Yeah, we don't need to do that anymore.
Well, you have to like double tap the home button.
So
yeah.
I think the reason it is in the Game Awards, and I think the reason they showed off the physical console itself, is that no one expected it. I think they went
Yes.
for awe, and I'm curious if the panel felt awed.
I was awed.
You were?
I was
Yeah.
awed.
Great, go in there.
What, dude? Just like a brand new console coming out of nowhere? Like, no one even expected this here.
Yes, not even
Everyone's like,
rumored,
oh,
yes.
no one's going to talk about this till 2020. They've
Yep.
been like, Sony and Microsoft have been very hush-hush with their consoles. Like,
Well, like every
things-
state of play, like no next gen.
Yeah.
No next gen.
All
sorry,
that
no,
stuff.
Not here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and Keely's just like, well, we got something else that
Xbox-
no one expected.
Xbox likes to be first with their console announcements, it seems like.
Sony
they
was
were
first
last
last
time.
time.
Sony was first last
Yeah.
time.
They were?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were in February, and Microsoft was like May, I think.
Yeah.
But no, because then Sony came out and they were like making fun of the used games.
That was
thing
at
and
E3. They were making fun of it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I remembered.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird little things.
I do think there's a little bit of that at play too. They know, I think we all know that Sony is going to have an event in February or January.
Sometime.
We're just counting on it.
Yeah,
right?
sometime.
Yeah.
And
We're
they-
counting on it because that's what they do with the PS4.
Yeah, we're going
but,
And it's a
yeah, I don't know
success,
for
so-
sure.
Can't always predict that, but I mean, it's a good guess.
Sure,
that
they got
something like that
preempted though,
might
right?
happen. Yeah, and I think they also did a stronger thing as well, whereas we saw a third-party published title for PlayStation 5 that's also going to be on PC on the Epic Game Store as well with Godfall, right?
Yeah.
That's the name of it.
Yeah, we'll get there.
And but I don't want to talk about that, but compare that presentation to what they did with Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. This nice, really good demonstration of like supposedly in-game, in-engine capture
Yeah.
that looked really good.
Did
I think
you-
they made a stronger case right out of the gate for that. Like,
were you
power.
pulled by the reveal trailer? Which is what.
So we were like, what is this at first? This weird like Genesis creating. I got trolled at one point, Kyle. They died below the waves, and there's like some like radio distorted voice talking. I'm like,
BioShock.
I was like, BioShock something? Goldman? I was like,
I'm so
no.
glad it was not
But,
BioShock. Yes.
Okay, I will
What's
admit, I
coming?
was glad it wasn't
Yeah.
it too as well. But then we saw it seeing the lineup, like the Lamborghini, or sorry, what car it was driving
Yeah.
the red car.
We saw
And
Master
Chief,
Yeah.
and then they show a box. We're like, it's the console. This
Yeah.
is it. We're seeing it right now, and it was a good surprise. Interesting way to do it, you know, and. Yeah, I think it's fine. Other than the one thing I think that's missing is you can't be there in person. We're still watching it live. Is those like kind of like beauty shots you get from people who go to the event, like those nice films,
Yeah.
like all the like you were talking
Or
about
even
earlier.
someone just like holding
hands-on
it, you know.
impressions.
Phil
of, like, just
Spencer
holding it.
just
yeah.
teased everybody saying he's got one at home.
Yeah.
He didn't bring it one to the Game Awards to
I would
show
have loved
off.
to have seen it.
It was just missing that.
Even if it was an empty box, because that'd be safer, right?
I got another funny tidbit is at rehearsals today, Phil Spencer was rehearsing a fake speech. And I was like, man, he's really phoning this in. Because he was just like, at Xbox, we planned as something, something, and something. So like the whole speech was fake, obviously, because it was about to announce a console. But for some reason, he still came out and rehearsed it. I don't know. Maybe that was just like,
That's deception, baby.
was
I love
deception.
it.
I think
Yeah.
that's to fill the amount of time.
yeah, you're
You know,
right.
when
We
you're
needed
doing
that
a
as
full
well.
rehearsal, like you want to make sure everything's fitting in your time slot.
I just had a weird realization. So the opening act with Death Stranding and Churches had that bizarre ring in the sky that's not
It did.
in Death Stranding.
Yeah.
And then the Xbox Series X thing has the ring in the sky that it's made of light, but it's like in the same framing and stuff.
We call these halos.
Yeah.
Kojima
Yeah.
is
But
in
it's
the
like
know.
but it's like weird that a PlayStation exclusive title has the imagery that was then moments later used to announce the Xbox Series
See,
X.
I didn't know it wasn't even a Death Stranding thing. I thought it totally was. That's funny.
There's not to my knowledge, there's not a
Yeah.
clear
Yeah.
ring in the sky at any point. I
Confused
don't
by
remember
it
that.
as well.
Yeah, I don't know what it's about.
So yeah, obviously we'll hear more about Series X next year. I don't know. I don't feel the buzz. I don't feel the buzz of a new console announcement.
That is definitely something I agree with. I feel that despite you said your argument that there were more eyes on this, that this is like would gain more traction potentially because it is a bigger venue.
Mm-hmm.
In the moment it was hype, but now that it's over, like that lasting impact is not there for me.
Sure.
Where I felt like after both the Sony, even when I was like upset or like making fun of like Xbox One at its reveal, that still stuck with me. It was memorable. This is, I'm remembering the box, but like in Senua being announced, but I'm still looking. I want more. Like it feels like there's this void that's still there. Some component missing from it, and I feel like they didn't have it all.
Yeah, they've got a much bigger lineup to talk through. So I think that's the thing. Like even when you're talking about the PlayStation 4 event, they had a lot of games there. They had a lot of people on stage talking about their work. You had the infamous, Sucker Punch thing where the guy was like
the infamous thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As for the sense of feeling buzz, I feel like it's a little premature to like say that. We've been in a room like all day. It's not even been like 5 hours, I guess, since it's come out.
Yeah.
Like
we haven't been online to see
to
what
me,
everyone else is saying.
I'm like still surprised about it. To me, it's
Cool.
like a big deal.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, if no one else is like, I don't know, maybe they did something wrong then.
I mean, for one, I just like the way it looks. Compared to Xbox One, I think this thing looks great.
It looks distinct and unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they made a choice. It doesn't look just like another console, It's like, oh, okay.
Really,
This
really
thing's
quick.
new.
Everyone, I want to know if you would put it upright or on its side.
Vertical for sure.
Okay.
I would
Blood?
probably put it vertical. It kind of depends on how well it fits in my space. But
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damiani?
Vertical, because isn't the fan on the top?
Yeah.
I don't want
The
that
vent is on the top,
vent
yeah.
on the top. Yeah.
Or it's on the side like every other device you own.
No, I like it up.
Okay,
So
Brad.
because where I put my console is
probably
against a
better
wall,
for
like
heat
against
flow,
the
yeah.
wall.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Fair
want
enough.
I have an option now that it's not like a.
I've had my PlayStation 4 up for vertical for years.
All right, Brad, your last shot for horizontal.
I might put it horizontal.
Okay.
It just depends how it fits. It just depends where I end up putting it and how it fits.
It does. Just like the way my TV takes up space, it'd have to be horizontal
Sure, yeah.
currently. And it's like,
like it's designed to work both ways.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
It'll probably also depend on like what Sony's box looks like.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
that thing's gonna be humongous.
yeah, that dev unit shot.
I hope Sony's has like a hole and you can just
put it in.
you can just put it
I put a square peg into a round
horseshoe.
hole.
Then your like Nintendo Switch blows up or something.
I do really want to talk about Hellblade 2 though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Ninja Theory, obviously. This was my favorite trailer of the night.
For sure.
So despite me not being buzzed from the console announcement, like this was so fun to watch.
Yeah, that performance.
Definitely a spectacle.
When she's like looking you in the eye and like doing those chants and stuff, and just like, whoa, like
Intense tone.
yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't feel like that video game gap. It's like just like she's looking you in the eye and screaming in your face,
Yeah.
And so you feel the weight of that.
Good looking teeth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Next-gen
surprised by
teeth,
like
baby.
the inside of the mouth details. Like, okay, that's like a nice detail we're gonna be noticing.
And she's making like weird faces, which is a testament to how good the face looks, so that
Yes.
she can make a weird face and it looks like a person making a weird face, not just a weird face.
Yeah.
Also, the band Hyliung is, I think, in the video, and I said they were from Norway, and someone in chat was like, they're from Germany. I just looked it up. They're from Denmark, Norway, and Germany.
Both. Surprise.
So yeah, in your
Dude,
face, I
next
guess.
gen, good faces.
Next gen's
Can you
got
imagine
good,
we're
some
gonna
good
get to a
faces
point
coming.
where we look at her face, her mouth, and we're gonna be like, that looks so old. That looks so dated.
I actually can't imagine that.
Because remember, when we
Right.
go through each generation just real quick,
Yeah.
like you think you're blown away by the visuals, and then like 3, 4, 5 years later, you look back like, I was blown away by those, but man, I can easily tell now that looks very dated. Like getting
Yeah.
that feeling, it only comes around so often, I think, and I think it's gonna get harder as you go forward.
I think some stuff holds up, man. Like
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Some
The
stuff just holds up.
CG in the original Jurassic Park is a little rough.
Oh,
by
It
today's-
super is not, Damiani. The CG in the original Jurassic Park is really good.
I think Jurassic Park's a really good case for.
And the reason why is because they had the light reference of the thing in the space, and
Yeah.
like they were inventing it all as they went. It holds up, dude.
I also think.
Some of it doesn't. I don't think looks good anymore.
I also think that they had a lot of practical that really.
The
made it
practical
work
stuff looks
together.
Well, that's
amazing.
why. Yeah,
Yes.
they
And-
could reference it.
And I think that additionally on that, I think it holds up as
Xbox getting
long as
sweaty.
you're not trying to do like a frame by frame. Like you
Yeah.
know, like
I mean,
if you're just
it
watching
holds
the
up-
film, it holds up fine.
It holds up for being the first real use of CG ever.
What I like about Ninja Theory though, and why just they are, I think, maybe we shouldn't say best in class, but just so far above others, and they have this proprietary facial capture technology that
Yeah.
they still won't tell anybody about, and
Well,
I love that.
The thing I don't get is whenever you watch like the developer documentaries or whatever,
Yeah, I
it
have.
just looks like they're in like some random conference room.
Yes.
It doesn't look like super high tech kitted out.
something on the other end, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. It's
It's
exciting.
their first sequel, I think.
Wow, the first time that studio
it?
got a sequel.
I think so. Heavenly
And
Sword did
there's
not get one.
No
Looking
Enslaved
into it.
2.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Monkey-
No
maybe.
DMC follow
No
up.
DMC.
DMC follow up. Yeah.
Disney Infinity's dead. They worked on that. They didn't.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. It's cool to see them. It just from the trailer, you get the impression they're well funded. It really
yeah.
does seem
First
like
party
Microsoft's
bucks.
taking
Like
care
being a
of
part
them.
of
Yeah.
Microsoft, like
Yeah.
First party
yeah,
bucks,
they-
dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Disney Infinity 3.0 is the only thing that would kind of count.
It counts.
Because they did because they did Disney Infinity Marvel superheroes before that, but
Yeah.
they have no direct sequels really
Yeah.
Yeah, good for them.
until
Yeah.
now.
And Damiani hinted at this next game, Godfall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was announced as a PlayStation 5 game, and I think it's why it's at the tip of this podcast, right? Because we had a lot of announcements that didn't really show too much. However, if you say in-engine PlayStation 5, you're going to get eyeballs and attention.
Did
This
they
might be the
confirm
first
that
time.
was in engine for PS5 because it is coming to PC.
Keeley said in-engine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like the actual definitive confirmation. You know, like
Yeah.
The beginning of
this is
the-
running on a system. You pull it up. Oh, it's a dev unit under there.
The beginning of the trailer says actual in-engine footage.
You know what's
that
funny is
doesn't-
I
That could be
remember them
PC, that could
talking
be-
more than I remember what was in the trailer.
Yeah.
But
It was Darksiders characters looking at a tower.
Because they were talking cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Also, the other thing they kept, I think, really well, because we don't know it yet, is that's not the PlayStation 5 logo. That was like the
Yes.
the graphics for the game or the font they're using. So they're still hiding that PlayStation 5 logo. So
Yeah,
it
it's
really
weird,
was like not a lot.
Trailer hangs on the PlayStation logo on black for a long time.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Like the old, the default, the brand logo.
So the comparison they're going to get 100 more times before that game is released. With launch they did say holiday 2020
Yeah.
launch with PlayStation 5. It's Destiny with swords. It's,
Yeah, I mean,
a-
they call it a looter slasher.
Yeah,
Yes.
when they busted that
yeah,
out.
Yeah.
and you kind of got those Destiny vibes. I mean, they weren't talking like game players did, but they were talking cool, like action heroes, just like,
Yeah.
oh, we got a thing in our way, let's go, baby.
I don't know
Bring 'em
if you
on.
caught
Yeah.
this. This is funny. So not only is it console exclusive to PS5, it's PC exclusive to Epic
Epic Games
Games.
Store.
Yeah, they're getting that money,
You know, that
promo money.
this it also featured something that was kind of seen a few more times throughout the evening. Swirling vortexes in the sky. Just everyone's got them now.
I saw a lot of swirling.
There were a lot of
vortexes.
swirling
Yeah,
vortexes.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a popular trend right now.
Also,
cause.
the phrase "better together" is always in stuff, but on their
Better
website, it's really funny because it says "better together." Enjoy 1, 2, or 3-player co-op play. So 1-player co-op play is
Yeah.
that's new,
Well, AI partner co-op.
I guess.
As we continue our mission to entertain the world.
Wait, so who are they? This is a new studio, Counterplay Games.
Counterplay
Yeah.
Games is
Yes.
an independent video game studio based in California, assembling a world-class team with a singular vision to craft games focused on high levels of personal mastery. Drawing from our past experiences working on God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Diablo 3, Gears 5, Titanfall 2, Left 4 Dead 2, Destiny 2, Evolve, Halo 5, Call of Duty, Overwatch, and Ratchet & Clank.
A lot.
Wow.
There's a lot.
It's like, Megan, what did you do? It's like, I worked on Ratchet a few years ago. Like, put it in. You know, it's like everything everybody ever worked on.
I caught a trailer
They're-
for it.
Yeah.
Like it's not good enough to say like from the former developers
Right.
of this, like you got to go all in.
And I'm sorry, they did make it. There's another game on their site, isn't it? It's like a mobile game, so I shouldn't call it their first game.
Oh, okay.
Is
First,
Gearbox
like,
publishing this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I thought I saw the logo.
Well,
on
and
there.
that's what I was gonna say is like, does Gearbox being attached to this hurt it kind of? Because like for people who aren't already on board with Borderlands or whatever, is like to me that's a knock against this game, kind of, right?
Well, it definitely makes it feel like
It gives you
Melee
expectations.
Borderlands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gives you expectations about what this game is, which
Even
I don't
though-
think is fair.
Yeah, because Gearbox really, they'll have some input in terms of marketing and tone, maybe, but like they're not making the game.
Right. So it's like it gave me a bunch of unfair assumptions, I think, about this game.
Didn't they publish Colonial Marines?
After Colonial
Yeah.
Marines,
Yeah.
they don't deserve the benefit of the doubt, and I think that's where it's kind of fair for Ian to be skeptical.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Once you,
fair.
if you do that once, if you do Colonial Marines once, you get 10 years of skepticism.
Yeah.
I think
How
that's
many more
fair.
years you got left?
Does this look good enough to be next gen? You watch that trailer. Does it look like
I guess.
enough
yeah,
of an
I
improvement?
guess. I don't know.
I guess isn't good enough, right?
Like,
I mean,
I don't know.
as I said earlier, I felt like Hellblade 2 sold it. Like
Yeah,
next-gen
me- I
looked
think so,
more.
too.
So,
Sure.
like, for sure, I'm looking at a next gen game.
Yeah.
This, I'm still, after everything that went by, I'm trying to get a mental image, and it's not coming to me. Hellblade, it made a mark.
Yeah.
Brad, you'll have to help me with this.
Mm-hmm.
The ancients of the Kingdom Hearts series that all have like dog faces.
Oh,
They all
like
wear animal
the
masks.
Guardians or whatever?
Yeah.
Foretellers.
Yeah, the Foretellers. Yeah.
The foretellers. Imagine the foretellers, Bloodworth,
Mm-hmm.
with like cool armor. Well, foretellers, yeah, they wear like robes, don't they?
Yeah.
Foretellers with cool armor.
Sure.
We'll be customizing it. We'll be unlocking it.
There was 3 of them, right?
Yes.
Can't
I mean,
remember
it says head-turning loot in
And I think there's like a
press
fire
release.
sword. I don't know. I can't remember. This.
Ian, are we doing podcast halftime this week?
No.
Okay. No hot. Let's just keep rolling then,
I
baby.
mean, you could kick to it if you want, but no.
Okay. No, that's great.
Screw it.
Yeah. December, baby.
Still ramping up with Roost.
Cool,
Still
cool.
ramping up.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think it's just kind of an end of the year kind of thing.
Yeah, it's also December. It's weird timing.
Yeah. Let's talk about Bravely Default 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So we saw the Switch click.
Yeah. And then we saw Square Enix.
Yes.
I'm like, what?
But almost immediately after that, some okay 2D art.
Right.
You saw like some
Yeah.
fountain. You saw
Yeah,
like some
we were like,
and
what?
some like VO that's like okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
is this another Saga game?
Yeah, I was
Yes.
like Saga, Amana, or
Expectations
And then
lowering,
you saw
yeah.
the
See the crystal. I'm
see
like,
the
okay.
crystal. So I was like, Bravely Default or Four Warriors of Light, like some one of the two. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, or Octopath 2.
So what I would say is like it's so strange that we have Bravely Second, which is the sequel to Bravely Default.
really
But
weird.
but we saw 2D art for a long time that was indicative of the first game. Not indicative. Whatever.
Resembling? Similar?
Yes. Yeah. But then at the very end, we see a camera pan around in 3 dimensions on
Those
our
character
4
models.
characters.
and
Yeah.
like- oh, yeah. That's definitely one of their games.
Yeah, so it seemed like that was maybe concept art or maybe a misdirect that for a long time we saw the 2D art that you would see reminiscent of
yes, because I
Bravely
thought,
Default. Yes.
I was like, oh, they're going the same vein of Octopath, but instead of going for like sprite based, they're going for like really nice,
Right.
rich 2D art. I was like, this is gonna be kind of cool.
Yeah.
and then it looked like high definition 3DS graphics. I was
Yes.
like, okay, all right.
It kind of looked like high definition 3D.
I was like, it looks like Bravely Default in HD. I was like, okay.
I would say it looks a little worse than that Mana remake. That new Mana remake
Yeah.
coming
Oh,
out.
way. It looks way worse than that. I was hoping at least it would nail be at the fidelity of World of Final Fantasy.
Sure.
Forget like the Funko looking character stuff, but like that, how the quality of the graphics are in that game. I would expect that out of any Switch, offering of this caliber, and it seemed like a perfect fit. And they're going for something. I don't know. Maybe it's just early.
They put
you
a
know, never
date
know.
on it?
Summer.
Summer 2020, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
summer.
Is that right?
I miss that,
Yeah.
dude. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, summer.
Well, they were talking about the team behind this was talking about Untitled Project earlier this year. That they showed off like a piece of art. I would love to track it down and see if it looks like this.
Sure.
Because I think they've been working on this for a while.
So this might be stupid then because
It
I thought
just said 2020.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was
Yeah.
summer. Okay.
I thought this is the Octopath Traveler team.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
Same. It's
Then
so-
that's an incredibly fast turnaround.
Yeah. Oh, they remember earlier this year, Square Enix consolidated all their like 13 plus business divisions into 4 divisions.
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, it was a big deal. Like their their annual report.
Okay,
We
this
didn't-
is huge.
I
yeah.
probably wasn't on the podcast. I thought
Right.
that would have made podcast news.
It would have, yeah. As well.
Yeah,
gotta
they used to have
be
a
in the
ton
know.
of teams, and like this was one of the I think they were actually this team had its own division,
Mm-hmm.
but they've been rolled in with other things. It's still this team, but they're overseen by more people now. So I think the pipeline's been streamlined a little bit better, so
Gotcha.
it's helped facilitate these games turning around a little bit faster.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are we excited about this game coming into 2020?
I am.
I think there are people that are definitely excited for this.
Yeah, Brad, why are you?
Because I like Bravely Default.
Yeah, it's a cool combat system.
Yeah.
right?
It's fun, man.
Yeah.
Not every game to me needs to be like 10 out of 10, the most crazy game ever coming out. Just a cool game, man.
I kind of remember it being funny too. Is that the wrong memory?
No, I could say, yeah.
Huh.
Good music. I remember that.
You know what?
yeah.
I don't think it's very funny. I think there were
There's
maybe like
some-
cute moments.
A funny character.
Yes.
One funny character per group.
Yeah, you need that funny one.
Yeah. It's going to be the old guy in this one. I can feel it.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Kind of cool announcement. No More Heroes 3 technically already announced, but a cool debut.
They kind of
Real cool debut.
talked about it like they were like joking around, like it depended on like what the last spin-off game was gonna do. Mm-hmm. But I think because we'd never seen the game in any way, it's just been a name.
Yes.
I just had an
Wait,
idea
we didn't
for
see it before?
No.
no.
We saw.
We
there
saw-
was that tease. There was a tease trailer.
Yeah, there was something like Travis was fighting outside like some white building or something or pyramid looking thing.
Yeah.
It was
Whoa.
like anime or something, or maybe it was in game, but like there was definitely something of No More Heroes 3 before earlier
That
this
wasn't
year.
just from.
I remember this as well.
No, this
Travis.
was
so weird you
definitely
both remember
from.
this. That's cool.
Yeah, but this was, I think this was a very good presentation, a good trailer.
Yes.
Like that story being told at the beginning, and
A
you have
fantastic
no,
misdirect.
and then like the
Yes.
title, then goddamn superhero. I was like, wow, and then like.
How much do you want to bet that the box art has a reversible
Oh,
cover
yes.
that says "Goddamn Superhero" as the title of the game?
And they did an extended version of it. So I don't remember if this is in the regular or extended version, but once it cuts to Travis and he's talking about like, oh, superheroes and stuff like that, he talks about like a galactic ranking. Oh, now there's a galactic ranking. So there's more than just like this. There was some cool
Dragon Ball
teases.
Super style.
Yeah,
Love that.
There was some cool stuff in there.
No, the trailer shown in the award show was basically show Travis and then end this as fast as possible. Like tease the complete one that you can go watch online and then just go.
So you haven't seen the complete one yet?
I've not.
It's more of an extended look at the story at the beginning, the animated story. It's more of that than anything.
Yeah,
There's
and
actually not
there's
that
not
much.
much more.
Yeah, there's not that much of Travis at the end. Like
I
maybe
love
a few
that.
extra lines, but it's just that. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, the No More Heroes thing that Damiani and I were talking about was a reveal trailer from E3 2019. It starts off and it looks like Zone of the Enders.
Yeah.
It's got like robots in space and there's like an upside down pyramid, and then Travis Touchdown or whatever comes out.
Wow, I must have never gone back and watched it. You know, I always miss Nintendo E3s.
sure.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So that's interesting though, because I feel like you can compare those. I feel like this trailer is going to leave an impact, whereas, you know, people weren't replaying that other trailer. People weren't referencing that other trailer past E3 to the point where I didn't know it existed.
It's funny that it kind of does the same trick, like fake. It's like a fake out other game first, and then it switches to that. Sort of the same deal.
I'll watch 100 of those.
Yeah, it's really cool.
You know who they could have done it better was 9 to 5.
Oh,
Yeah, well, 'cause that
game fell flat.
That fell really
Yeah.
flat because they started with a funny joke like bunny shooter game, and then it switches tone to like half serious, and then the way he described the game was like, here's a world where being a mercenary is a 9-to-5 job, and they're really like lackadaisical about it, and it's like what is the tone of this game? Like, what are you going for?
Yeah, I think what happened there, maybe this is a larger conversation. I think it's something that really interests me. I think you have this pressure. I think they psyched themselves out trying to make a Game Awards trailer.
Yes.
I think they psyched themselves out trying to have a big misdirect, trying to make people laugh in an audience. And you're right, you kind of missed the point. You dropped the ball on advertising your game.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a tricky balance. It's hard to. You're in. What did it turn out to be? 2.5 hours in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, and part of this is why it's like crazy to kick it off with Series X. Is you're in this 2.5 hour just bombardment of trailers. It's hard to stand out. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to make the list of the podcast at the end of the day, and it's funny. It's a hard thing to balance.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good conversation to have because how many? I never sat back and thought about how many actual trailers. It'd be amazing to count how many were actually in there.
Right.
Butler probably has them all written down over here.
I think I have a number.
It feels like it's as much
as
as all the press conferences at E3 combined, and that's like
it's not that, but yeah.
I mean, it's like feels like it.
Yeah.
It's like
No,
it's like it's
Xbox
just,
definitely has more.
it's just
for
like
sure.
chaos.
Yes.
It's just like absolute chaos trying to sift through that. So the problem of proper E3 show is like standing out on the show floor. This is like there's no show floor. It's just the stream, you need to stand out during this. So yeah, you might lose sight of the better thing you could be doing, which is you missed a mark with this comedy. Now no one really, your game looks weird and it's like you didn't really sell the concept versus you just did a straightforward trailer, it would have played better. You know, it's hard to read that, I think, sometimes.
Absolutely.
Because you don't know what everyone else is showing. You don't know everyone else is doing the same gimmick. Like, we're doing a funny little misdirection, everyone. I mean, swirling vortexes, you know? Everyone just
they didn't even know.
Yeah, no one knew. There's swirling vortexes. All the rage this year.
People just like, oh, come on. Just, you know, oh, that's my
Like
idea.
Godfall season, and then like, oh, damn it, no.
So yeah, so basically for the rest of my list of games that were announced, I don't know which ones to really dig into, to be frank with you. I have like a list, like maybe we'll dig into the ones that you're most passionate about.
I want to say one last thing about No More Heroes real quick.
I say there's around 27 to 30.
Oh, total trailers?
Yeah.
That's like a lot.
It's a little hard because sometimes it's unclear like what was like just in an ad break.
Oh, like Ori.
Yeah.
Like all that too. That I meant, yeah, that's a good point. All the stuff in between when we're going away for the break.
Right.
That stuff also, like, technically in my mind counts as I'm watching. Like, there could be something in here.
That strange hockey game.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
just like, hi, you have to pay attention to everything. You can't like look away for a second. So it's a
Until
lot.
the Stadia one comes out.
Yeah, those two. We don't need to talk about that. I just want to say, yeah, Nintendo's pushing No More Heroes 3 pretty hard. I feel like.
Yeah,
Like,
because
they're
it probably won't be exclusive, will it?
No, yeah, well,
Probably.
yeah,
Right.
I think it absolutely
And I
is.
mean, like,
Was 2?
no.
2 did not, but I think
1 came to stuff later.
Yeah, I think 1 and 2 both came to stuff later, but
I think this is
I think
only
there's a
happening
little bit
because of
different
Nintendo.
now.
Yeah.
sorry, what's the game that just came out though?
Travis Strikes Again.
Travis Strikes Again is a multi-platform at this point, and
Oh,
so
is
maybe
it?
it's maybe it's a year exclusive thing.
Yeah. Timed exclusive, probably.
Sure.
There you
They're
go.
just- Yeah, so they're just putting their weight behind it.
Sure.
Yeah, 2 was only on the Wii.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that was the one.
I mean,
All right.
according to Wikipedia, it just as platforms.
Yeah, I think
Wii.
only one came, like, got HD
One, yeah.
remastered, and then like came on PS3. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel like one launched on 360, man.
Dude, the first trailer for 2.
What?
It was super like Wii remote.
Yeah, remember
waggle
like
stuff.
charging
Yeah.
up, shaking
Yeah,
the
I'm
thing.
pretty sure it's only Wii.
Yeah.
Wikipedia only says Wii for 1 as well.
Yeah, but they did like I think it's
No,
called
it's
something
called No
different.
More Heroes
Yeah.
Paradise. Or
Yeah,
something,
they
or-
changed the name slightly.
Oh,
with
okay.
Yeah,
the
it's like a
different-
remaster. Yeah.
But that's the funny thing though is like how far back that was because No More Heroes 2 was one of those situations, you know, when like trailers were still kind of the Wild West, and like I found out about No More Heroes 2 because I was at TGS and I got a thumb drive with stuff on it, and like I'm looking through the thumb drive like, oh, there's a No More Heroes 2 trailer. Let's put that up on Game Trailers right now.
That is the Wild West. dude.
Jackpot.
Yeah. All right. So, what stood out to you? What game announcements stood out to you tonight?
So I mean, there's games announced that I'm excited, like I'm very curious about. Like the trailers weren't necessarily that great.
Yeah.
Like the Dark Alliance one, I'm like super curious
Trailer
about.
Okay.
was so bad.
But
So
like
let's
that
talk about
trailer
that.
was weird.
So, Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance. So the Baldur's Gate games were Dark Alliance as well.
Yeah.
And Baldur's Gate games, from what I understand, are some of the best video games of all time.
Yeah, I played the PS2 one back in the day. It was fun.
So yeah, tell me about Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance. What do we know about it?
I mean, I don't remember a ton, but I remember being like, like a CRPG view, the isometric kind of view, like going through, killing stuff with your friends. Kind of like played like Diablo from what I remember.
Yeah.
It's been a long time though since I've played it.
it's cool to see.
But like I recognized a character or two from it. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like it's so weird how. I mean, there are the Baldur's Gate games, but it's so weird how underrepresented Dungeons and Dragons is in the video game space.
Yeah, for sure.
What an IP.
To us at least.
You know,
yeah.
what a backlog of lore and character designs and monster designs, and it's just so weird, you know, that there aren't more games like this.
Coming back, baby.
Yeah.
Coming back.
So you're right. I mean, it's so weird to call fantasy generic, right? Because fantasy is already out there by its nature. Mm-hmm. But it's even hard to stand out if you're doing a fantasy.
Yeah,
thing
I
with-
just don't have a clear idea what the game is going to be like necessarily. I mean,
I
maybe
didn't
like
get
the
an
old
email
ones,
on that
but
one, unfortunately.
like I just got like things of Vermintide in my head just by like the trailer. I was like, oh, is this going to be like Vermintide or something?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Because like 4 people together going through.
Yeah, I think
But
that's kind of
maybe.
the problem, though, is that trailer doesn't give you any
I
idea
just
how
don't-
that
yeah, I
game
don't have an
plays
idea.
whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some weight just behind the title.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
think that they were leaning
Having
into that.
a Dungeons and Dragons game look like it's going to be a big deal.
Yes.
You know, but in a weird way, it's like all of that magic stuff almost makes it diminish, right? Because like some of that magic stuff is maybe a big deal, some of it's maybe not, you know, and it's just like magic, and then D&D, we're here too.
Oh, you're talking about the Magic the Gathering stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of the Magic Gathering.
So we had 2 new Magic the Gathering games announced. Magic Legends, the MMO,
crazy.
and what was the other one where the woman just dies? She just gets suffocated.
That's just
not-
the next block.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
Yeah, that's
Theros
cards.
Which
or
will be
someone.
it'll be in arena and regular cards.
Ian, is there a story element to the card game?
Oh my God, yes.
I was like, there's so much happening
Yeah.
here. This
There
is-
are novels upon
hardcore.
novels upon novels about magic.
Yeah, don't underestimate fantasy
The
stuff.
story, the story is very, very involved.
This
in
because
Magic the
right,
Gathering.
I think the guy's name was Dan who was introducing it, and he's like, "We're going back to this area. We're going
Yeah.
back to Eldasloss," and it's like, what, do people know what Eldasloss is?
Before the Dark
Yeah.
Prince.
Like
Yeah.
Ravnica came back
Nerd
recently,
Media.
and everyone was like really excited about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Blood
but I won't hear it.
Blood Order.
Well, it's coming from my
fantasy-
crown.
Every fantasy thing, there's multiple books.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I just went to playprologue.com because I was curious about the PlayerUnknown's PlayerUnknown Productions
Yeah.
that
prologue,
random-
play prologue, which was just a teaser that was a cool, really awesome shot of a forest in the rain.
Yeah.
It's just a like put your email address and notify me kind of a thing. But the phrase on here is really interesting. It says prologue is an exploration of new technologies and gameplay. Our aim with this game is to give players unique and memorable experiences each and every time they play. It's kind of weird.
Okay.
Okay.
And a quote from Brendan, PlayerUnknown, he says, "We're taking our first steps towards building new technologies and interactions that will help develop my ideas into reality."
My ideas.
My idea. Yeah, I thought my ideas.
That's
was
a
very
Kojima
interesting.
over there. That's fine.
Yeah.
It did look good though. That was a good looking
Yeah.
forest.
Yeah.
No clue what it is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I kind of like, I guess.
I think there's something to it though. This idea of like, hey, we have 2 Magic games. We had 2 League of Legends games also announced.
Yeah.
And so this was funny. This was a headline last week that I was like, I'll save it until they make some announcements because they said Riot Forge, we're going to be making some single player
Oh, yeah.
League of Legends games. And I said, I don't really want to go with that announcement. It's not even like a studio announcement. It's like it's an initiative announcement. But then here, 1 week later, we have 2 Riot Forge single player League of Legends games announced, of which I don't think we got to see
Anything.
anything.
Some
It's like
artwork.
story.
Yeah, we had story
And they
setups,
said one of
yeah.
the characters. I don't remember from one of the games.
Yeah, one
Echo,
was
I
like
believe?
one was
Yeah,
like a
that's it.
pirate king
He's the
guy
converted
who was
one.
unleashing his wrath against like the world or the region.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about League of Legends lore. I'm just trying to remember the trailer. And then the other one was like Prince of Persia mechanic. Was
Yes.
like kind of cool.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
I want to see more of that one.
That's the weird thing is, I come across so cynical about League of Legends, but I actually love this idea of using different genres to explore
For your
this.
IP?
this-
Yeah.
Yeah, they said the second one was also like a action platformer type thing. So I was like, ooh.
Yeah, first one's turn-based RPG, which
Yeah.
makes sense because they did Battle Chasers.
And they were touting like this battle system. They think it's pretty unique.
Same studio from Battle
Yeah.
Chasers, even
Yeah.
just flat out. Yes, I thought that was pretty
So
cool.
I'm curious to see their what their gimmick is to the battle system.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is really smart on their part, I think, because there's some people who just will never get into League of Legends as it's presented in the main game, and this is ways to gateways. Like, hey, let's try and appeal to get more. How do we increase people interested in League of Legends as a brand? And here you go. Here's a game where hey, it's not competitive. It's single player. It's nice. Have a good time. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get overwhelmed. It's like one champion or one person related to a champion or something. And if you like this, there's another one. You go from there.
Dude, just buy into the enterprise.
When are
I'm
we
cool
gonna
with
get
it.
Yeah, expand the lore.
KDA
Yeah.
Popstar game?
Well, Echo
Blood?
is he's the one. He's in True Damage, which was that
Oh, yeah?
second group. Yeah, he's one of the guys in that, I believe.
Is there a boy band?
No, it's the rap
The-
one. It's really cool.
The most recent
Oh.
music
Yeah.
video they made.
Have
Oh
you seen
yeah,
it,
that's
Kyle?
who that was,
it's really
right?
good.
Okay, that's who that is.
Yeah, he's Echo.
Now I get it. Okay.
Because he's like jumping all around in the video.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, KD,
KDA is the other one. I
KDA.
think one of the members of KDA is also in True Damage.
nice. But KDA made one song, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're all pretend.
Cool.
They're just to sell skins.
Yeah, I mean, like, but Blood made a great point. Like, that game would be awesome.
It would.
Give it time.
That'd be a really cool
Give it time.
game. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, who knows? They might expand their lore with like all the big characters.
Yeah, please. So yeah, it's funny. It's hard for it to have an impact on a night like tonight, but like I think those are cool announcements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a lot of games like coming that they've been working on.
What else stood out? What else did you like?
I'm curious about that game Weird West.
Sure.
Looks cool. I like their past work,
Right.
like
so
Dishonored and stuff.
creators of Prey and Dishonored.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
I'm just really curious how like that translates.
Yeah,
'Cause
to
it's
a
not first person.
top-down
I'm super curious
RPG
about it,
kind of
yeah.
thing, yeah.
Yeah. What's you were calling a simulation?
Immersive sim.
Immersive sim.
sim.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is like you kind of lose the immersive part of it when you're
When you're
not
staring down.
like
Yeah.
street level.
Cool aesthetic though.
Well,
Yeah.
but the thing that's weird about that is there was a game called Hard West that came out
Super similar.
in 2015.
looking.
It's like the exact
Yeah.
same thing. It's like
Is it
Weird
really?
West. It's Weird West. It's like
People are
dark-
kind of mutated.
Isn't there a
yeah.
Ron Perlman voice character
Yes.
game
Yeah.
coming out that's
Yes.
also
Yeah.
may not be the same genre, but like
Yeah.
It's
I
like a
guess-
Western-
The skeleton one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
really weird.
The West, baby.
Again,
It's back.
people don't know what they're doing.
Weird West.
All going for the same thing.
I guess that's what. That's like, yeah. If you're all under one big publisher, they would say like, no, we don't need two westerns in our show. But yeah, that's funny.
I guess Hard West is turn-based, but yeah, it's tactics, but still like very similar.
I do want to talk about Fast and Furious Crossroads.
Yeah.
I'm not sure this is a big deal game or not. This is a video game. This is a Fast and
I want to
Furious
see
video
the
game.
price
Yeah. Okay. So
because it feels kind of like it's made on a budget, doesn't it? Like you look at those character models, you look at the environments, everything feels a little last gen.
it's Blood. It's one of those where I'm watching the car. I'm like, yeah. And the second you see a character model move, you know something is up.
And it's funny because it's like it's by the Project Cars guys, and those guys like made their living by like showing super crazy screenshots of cars that look
Yes.
like real cars for years.
Yeah.
They're like the game's gonna look like that, and you know it arguably it doesn't. You know, depending on whether you're playing it on the super high end PC or not.
Yeah.
But
Project Cars looks great.
yeah,
We would even say great, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
And so it's crazy for number one for them to be doing something that's got to be pretty arcadey. Because they did Project Cars, and then before that they did Need for Speed Shift, which was kind of towing the line between arcade and simulation, but it was more serious than other Need for Speed games. And yeah, so for them to do something where you're like bouncing across fields with guns shooting at you, and all this other stuff going on.
The scenarios actually looked fun.
Yeah,
Like the idea of an action, it's not racing because you're not racing, you're not trying to get first place. So it's an action car game is what it looks like to
Yeah.
me.
right.
Yeah.
Like a Wheelman or something.
Well, like
for sure.
I mean,
Yeah,
the,
that
the
seems
series
fun.
has moved away from like just straight up racing and just like getaway stuff to like insane action sequences. Like, how do we outdo the next one? Oh, we're gonna drop cars out of a plane. Oh, we're gonna like haul like a safe, bank safe through like the streets or whatever. We're gonna take on like a submarine now, and then like the most recent one. So like I'm kind of guilty pleasure. I'm really into like Fast and Furious stuff.
Sure,
like
absolutely,
yeah,
dude.
I really love it. And I mean, it drew some laughs from me. I'm like, okay, this will probably be kind of like cool here. This like sequence. Would you put it like a Cobra Commander looking villain like vehicle? Like the one of the things.
They
I was
definitely look like G.I. Joe toys. They absolutely
I was
look
like,
like G.I. Joe
it's
toys.
silly fun, but as you
Yes.
said, like price and like it does not. To answer your question at the beginning, did not look like the game that should have finished out the show to close
Right.
out the show for the final announcement.
Right.
That felt like somewhere in the middle of the pack of announcements.
Well, I mean, the lead up to it kind of tells you everything, right?
yeah.
Because the lead up was, we got some special guests we're not talking about.
Yeah.
Like, everything was because of who they had attached to it.
Well,
Okay.
that's kind of like it fell victim to a couple of things. I think like bad placement in the show because Keeley is putting on a show and like was excited about getting celebrities on his show, and so that made it the last announcement instead of like looking at the game and being like, is this a strong enough announcement? Not really. And then also like the announcement, like those two were just super weird on stage. Like Michelle Rodriguez was standing like 6 feet away from him, like she was terrified of Vin Diesel.
I didn't think that. I thought they were like
she just
they were
didn't-
so into talking to each other that they kind of like lost their
She was
place of
standing
what
so
they were
far
doing.
away, like I think she didn't think she was supposed to still be by the mic.
For the record, she wasn't. It was supposed to be
Right.
Vin Diesel
It was
doing a
supposed to-
speech.
Yeah,
Right.
by himself. Yeah.
And so
That's
he
what I
did.
thought.
Yeah, he did turn to her and like bring her into the conversation, which was like kind of fun in a spontaneous way.
Yeah, but it made it sort of awkward.
Yeah.
And then the mic just being way too low for him.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's the thing. The mic was positioned there. He thought he had to talk into it, but
Right.
he didn't. It's an Omni mic. Like, he didn't need to bend over.
I just don't think it's we have like I think I was thinking about that. I wonder why in other award shows, even the same thing, like it doesn't need to, but they just raise and lower it just to make the talent more comfortable.
Well, Ash was the only one who's like the right height for that mic.
Yeah.
Or like at mic height.
Yeah.
Showbiz, baby.
Showbiz, baby.
Yeah.
Showbiz. But yeah, I right.
Do you think it would have made more sense just to give people handhelds?
No. Because you have to hand out the trophy. You got to
Yeah.
open the envelope and hand out the
you're
trophy.
right.
And there was
Yep,
already
yep.
a lot of like mic noise.
Fumbling.
Steph Curry was good too.
Or those
Yeah.
a Stadia commercial?
Faker didn't get to meet.
No, he
Steph
did. He
Curry.
did best esports.
Yeah,
he was a
give
presenter
it
for
to,
best esports.
Oh, I was like, who's that?
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I don't know.
Not
sports.
Faker. though.
Sorry.
Twitch predictions were in chat. Were the voting thing? They were like wrong on every single one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they jinxed everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a game announcement. What did you think of the winner? The game of the year went to Sekiro.
Surprised.
We were
I mean,
very
we were
surprised.
surprised.
They're all
Yeah, we were
deserving of
surprised.
it, but
Yeah.
like I didn't think that would be the one to win. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
I thought Control and Sekiro would probably be like the ones that had the least chance. Death Stranding I don't think should have won, but like because it was getting felt like it was getting a lot of attention at the Game Awards, so I was like maybe it has a chance. Maybe the other people who vote on it really liked it, but I thought it would always come down to like Resident Evil 2 and The Outer Worlds.
I thought it was gonna be
was going to
hard,
come
too.
between those two, and
Yeah,
it
this
was
is-
Outer
not.
Worlds felt
Yeah.
like the safest Game Awards choice.
I think Resident Evil maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was
It's
gonna
fun
be.
to follow
Yeah.
stuff. Like it is meaningless. Just to be clear,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's fun, man, and it's fun. Like IGN gives theirs to Control, so Control's got some heat now. It's like
Yeah.
winning a Golden Globe, coming
Right.
into the Emmys or Oscars.
Got
So
momentum.
weird, yes.
Yeah. Well, and plus, like, Smash Brothers being that weird thing of like, it doesn't have the buzz because it's been out, and,
Yeah.
and people are, it's not a 2019 game, but then are people going to be like, well, that's better than these other games,
Smash Bros is tough. I think the hardest part is how much. It's
There's no drama in Smash Brothers.
yeah, exactly.
There's no emotional weight.
I mean,
It
yeah.
can be. Who
Like
depends who you're
fighting
playing with.
games.
Yes.
I don't know if a fighting game has like ever won GOTY.
Right.
From like any, they just don't,
Yeah.
because I don't think enough people play them.
It getting even nominated, I think, was a big
Yeah.
deal.
It's a
I mean,
big
it's a
deal.
really
Yeah, it totally
good
is.
game, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's not usual for a fighting game to get in there. But yeah, like as I said, like any of those winning would have like felt right, but like it was nice to see when sometimes when you're watching the Oscars, like you feel like deep down like everyone knows this is one's gonna win and it doesn't win. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, when
Yeah,
it makes
shocked.
sense. There's been some weird snubs and stuff, but like this didn't feel like a snub at all.
It didn't
This
feel like Sekiro feels earned,
Yeah,
right?
this
Yes.
was like wow, and it was nice to see Miyazaki get up there and like get to speak about.
'Cause
Hey,
I don't think
we
he's
were
been up there for past awards that much.
For any
has he?
Dark Souls game, no, man.
don't
Not
think
even
so.
Bloodborne, dude.
No, I don't think so.
Bloodborne,
Yeah.
the greatest game of all time, didn't win a lot of GOTYs, did
One
But not
ours.
even like best. It's a hard game to categorize, maybe, but it
Right.
wasn't even best action adventure or whatever it was
he?
put into.
Right.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Wolf Among Us 2 was announced. That's
Yeah,
weird.
that's cool. Ben was pumped.
Yeah.
Some I think was it Danny O'Dwyer? Someone tweeted something about that though. Like all in the news is not good about it or something.
Whoa.
Apparently, like the
About
people
what?
originally were working on it before are not the people being brought to work on
I mean,
it.
we covered
sure.
it. It wasn't
Yeah.
really like news to us because
Oh,
they
okay.
announced, "Hey, we're buying this IP. We're buying these IPs."
So the
Oh,
people
yeah,
who
it's like
started
all
work
new
on it
people.
are not
It's,
getting
like,
to
weird.
finish it.
Yeah.
So it's a different team being brought in to finish someone else's work.
I think they said they would bring some people over. No, that was the Walking Dead.
That was the
team.
Walking
Yeah,
Dead.
You're right. This might
Might
be
be a whole different team.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it was kind of a nice trailer, but yeah, if you were paying attention to the headlines, like I clearly don't.
But it's also hard
yeah.
to be like this game. You thought we would never see anything of it, like like a season 2, and then people have been asking for a follow up to it. So it's bittersweet in that fans are getting kind of what they wanted. They wanted this to happen. It's happening, but at the same time, when you look deeper into it, it's just it stinks that the people who were originally working on it don't get to finish their vision for
No
this.
professional loyalty, dude.
I know. The company's not your friend.
They are not.
Not your friend.
Cool. Yeah. I'm good with like wrapping up our conversation about the Game Awards. It was
What about that Reggie speech?
What do you want to say about that Reggie speech?
It was a good speech.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Did you not get to watch it? Or?
No, I absolutely got to watch it. Yeah. So Reggie Fils-Aimé, a current professor at Cornell University, came out and did a speech about indie games, but he made it very personal, right? He talked about Miyamoto and Iwata. Yeah, and that was a long speech too. It was cool.
It was.
Yeah, it was funny. It's just he's clearly still beloved.
Yeah.
He still gets a reaction.
Well, we were making fun of him. Jeff was like name dropping him constantly.
The most, yeah.
So
Green Day and Reggie, like every time.
Okay. I'll give you another inside thing. Is one of the producers asked me like, "Hey, is Jeff promoting Reggie too much?" And I'm like, "Nah, everyone's excited about Reggie." You know what I mean? It's just like,
Yeah, dude.
Oh, okay.
it's like I think everyone's genuinely excited.
Man, you really are the Dark Prince of
It
Nerd.
will make sense when you see like the reaction he gets, that the type of hype that we're hyping him up for, right? Like Reggie Fils-Aimé does get a bigger reaction than Stephen Curry at the Game Awards, and so it makes no sense to be like Reggie Fils-Aimé, everybody, but like it is worth hyping up.
I don't know who that is.
Who?
Stephen Curry.
He's a NBA guy, right?
Right.
Plays
Yeah.
for the Golden State
But, like,
Warriors.
As an example of
Right.
like
Oh, yeah.
hype levels at Game Awards, like I don't know who Stephen Curry is, but I'm like
Yeah.
Reggie.
I mean, well, that segment was for like esports fans. Like that award for like best
Right,
esports
right.
player. Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, they're just yeah.
yeah, I mean it makes some sense. I
Yeah.
think.
I mean,
But I think similarly, like Ikumi Nakamura coming out, you're like, most people only know her because of this last E3, and then like her going crazy on Twitter.
Yeah.
But that still resonates with that audience.
Yep. Yeah, that was cool. She wrote her own thing too.
Cool.
Yeah, clearly. yeah, that was fun too.
I really liked
improv
that.
master.
Yeah.
I liked how she was like, be patient with my English. She did great. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Let's move on to this week in Joker news.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, he's coming to Mortal Kombat.
That's true.
The Joker is coming to
But
Mortal
that's not
Kombat.
the big news.
No, the big news is, so I don't know if this was even like publicized or anything, but the Joker was at the Game Awards. He snuck into the control room. Nobody stopped him. And I wasn't in the room, but this is how people told it to me. He started fake laughing, like
No.
just saying like, ha, 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 right?
You don't do that when you're the Joker. That's
Yeah.
unprofessional.
And apparently there was this video called Arkham Legacy, and he deleted it and then walked out of the room.
That's what happened to it. I saw some pics on Twitter.
Of what?
Yeah, of something being deleted and ha ha ha, and everyone's like, "This is fake. This is not. This is not, this is not real. Come on."
No, that was the
And
Joker,
now you've
dude. It
confirmed
was
is
the Joker. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. He's just mad that Harley gets her own film now and he's not in it. You know.
I bet that movie's gonna be good. How
It
weird is that?
It is. That trailer was bad, but like
was a bad trailer,
It
yeah.
will probably be a good film.
I don't have anger issues. It's like that's okay. All right. Is that the joke? Is that the trailer joke? Do you like that joke?
They
the
learned their
joke.
lessons. They're saving the good jokes for the films and stop putting them in the trailers.
Yes. Okay.
There you
All
go.
right. It's time for love and respect.
Love and respect.
Okay. You know what? I don't mean my timer. We're good. We're just riding out the podcast from here. This one's nice. You know what? Let's kick off with this. From Robert Cassidy. Hey, allies. I know at the time of reading this, your minds are probably rushing after all the announcements at the Game Awards. So I just wanted to make sure 2 stories from earlier this week didn't get totally forgotten. 2K announced 2 new studios and a new BioShock game with developers from past BioShock and Dishonored games. Nothing shown, not much to discuss, but significant nonetheless. What's it called? Steamhead? The new studio?
I don't
Steam
remember.
something?
Yeah, double check on that.
Cloudhead, is it?
Maybe it's Cloudhead. Yeah, anyway.
Chowderhead.
Cloud Chamber.
Cloud Chamber.
You're close.
The logo is just some stupid face with a bunch of Steam stacks blowing smoke out of it. 2K announced, hey, we're starting development on a BioShock game. Should be out in a couple of years.
Yeah. 2024.
Schreier was like, don't believe their lies. This game's already been in development.
Oh.
For 2 years, he said?
Yeah, exactly. But apparently, not smooth development or whatever, that there was a reset at one point. But hey, BioShock game,
I mean, that's
incoming.
BioShock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Standard BioShock.
They
Yeah.
are really trying to get that Goldman fight right this time.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They got to get it right.
They got to stick the landing
gotta-
this time.
I heard that's why they had to reset it. The game was great.
I mean, I heard
Is
some.
this the
I heard
PS
some stories about the focus testing, and it was
Yes.
like the thing that came up the most was, I know you tried your hardest, guys, but like you're still not getting the goal man right.
Right.
Like,
So
you-
it was this flawless narrative. It felt just everything was amazing except this final boss with another gold man, and they just had to.
And they were like,
Toss
we
it
have
all.
2 years of development for this, and like they said, go look at the Sonic film. Whatever it takes, it will pay off. And they're like, okay,
Yeah.
fine. This is
Whatever.
going to cost us a lot of money.
Yeah.
And Jason Schreier from Kotaku is going to hear about this. He always sniffs this out. Are you ready to deal with this fallout? And they're like,
Yeah.
it's worth it. Believe us.
All right.
But is this the PS Vita game?
What was his idea? What was his idea for that?
It was like a tactics game.
Oh,
Wasn't
did he
it?
actually say what his idea?
I think it was. Yeah.
At the time, he said like, "I have an idea that would only work on the Vita." This is Ken Levine speaking.
Right.
Tactics.
Yeah. So who knows what his
A
actual
diving
idea was?
game.
Yeah. No, I mean when
I know,
Irrational closed, 2K said we're going to make more BioShock games. Don't worry.
Yeah.
They did. So they said that long ago. So I do believe that there's been some work on
That's a
BioShock since
valuable
then.
IP.
Second headline: MLB The Show
Oh yeah.
will be coming to
Yeah.
Xbox and Nintendo platforms
Probably
as
PC too.
early as 2021, probably PC as well. Definitely an interesting turn of events given it's a Sony developed game series.
Yeah.
It's-
It was first party.
It is first party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sony San Diego.
Yeah.
What is funny about that is the initial press release left it really wide open. It was like, we'll be coming to additional consoles. But then when the tweets went out, Nintendo just had like a baseball emoji.
Yes.
And then Xbox said no more away games.
Yeah.
And so like there's the confirmation of which consoles we're talking about.
Yes. Yeah.
Is this also kind of in reference to someone at Sony earlier this year saying that some of their games they were going to try putting multi-platform?
I doubt
And-
it.
Okay, this was
I
one of
think
the
this is
ones
all
probably
MLB
hinted at.
pressure.
Okay.
I do. I think
Oh,
I
yeah.
think Bloods nailed it. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if it was a combination. I was going to ask if it was a combination of that because it seems like a pretty big deal.
Yeah. And so if this none of this makes sense to you, if you hate sports games and you have no idea what we're even talking about, this is still kind of significant in a way. So, right, this long running the
Long
sport
running.
of baseball. You know baseball. It's the only there are like RBI baseball.
Yeah, there's plenty of other games, but
Yes.
just nobody cares.
You're right, because this is the baseball game.
Yeah.
It's just good. It's just a game that just comes out yearly and is good. And it's for some reason just a Sony exclusive. They were just paying for the rights. We presume that MLB said you can't have the rights. We can't renew the rights with you
Yeah.
if you're going to be platform
Because
exclusive.
that was the whole tone of the Sony press release is that they have renewed the license with MLB.
Sure.
So that's why it feels like MLB's like, well, you still want it, you got to make it for other platforms. We want more money.
And I'm impressed they said they still want it. I'm impressed Sony
Dude,
said,
probably
okay.
just makes money, man.
Oh yeah.
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 Isn't it usually pretty big on NPD?
Yeah. And so I guess it's weird. It's weird that. So you make this rationalization, Brad, right? Like, hey, they're just going to make more money. Well, then you could say, like, hey, God of War, you're just going to make more money.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, you're just
Good.
going to make
You
more
gotta
money.
like.
Right, but
I think it's the
whose
MLB
money?
pressure
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
Yes.
Also,
They want that Madden cash.
I understand. Yeah, there's always the argument that like your exclusives protect like the value of your hardware as well. But I think we've moved past a time where sports games in particular are representative of the value of like the hardware. I feel like a generation or two ago that was very true. Like getting, like showing off Madden on running on PlayStation
Yes.
at first. I mean,
Ken
I was just
Griffey baseball.
Yeah, but
Yeah, heck yeah.
exactly. Like you'd get these games either marketing exclusive rights or exclusive to this platform. It was a big deal. I think this is the type of game that it's not going to hurt the hardware value as much as you think. It's going to ding at some.
Yeah.
It's going to definitely ding at some. It's not going to come without its consequences, but I think they probably took a long, hard look at like the overall, like this value we're going to get from this, plus money we're going to make off of like putting it on other platforms versus how much do we really expect this to damage, or influence or impact hardware sales in future, the mentality of the consumer going forward. Oh, are all the games go like this? No, it's a one case specific unique example, and it's a sports game.
And I wouldn't be surprised if there was another, bidder.
Another what?
Another bidder. Like if somebody
EA?
else, like
Oh yeah,
EA
Or
or
2K.
yeah.
Yeah.
and I think that's very realistic. They probably like either needed to like get it or it's going like the threat. It's going to someone else. And not the only ones at the
also-
negotiating table here.
I feel like, maybe not the case for MLB The Show, but I feel like sports games, don't they stay cross-gen for like way longer too? So they're probably
Typically.
not. Yeah, they're not like really considering that it's going to dent PS5 sales specifically as much, right?
Well, I have a very, very spicy question for the panel.
Hold up. We got to go back real quick.
Okay.
Okay.
We didn't talk about Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, because it wasn't an announcement.
That was a trailer was sick though, dude.
Yeah. Okay.
Shout out.
Shout out.
That's
to,
my shout out, dude.
alright,
I'm shouting him
okay.
out, dude.
Alright.
Yeah,
I don't
please.
feel right not talking about that just for a second.
Yeah.
That was awesome, man. Death blows.
Yeah.
They're back.
So what was that like watching at home? So it was the first half of the trailers, kind of the story stuff we saw at the State of Play earlier. And then the orchestra starts, and then I kind of lost track of what was actually happening in the trailer.
Oh, could you not see it well?
Yeah, it was like behind them. It was on the screens
sort of
behind
like
them.
on a roof, like jumping down, like stabbing
Yeah, a lot
someone
of
in the
down
neck,
stabs.
man. Yeah, it was awesome.
Is it looking good? Ghost
Yeah, it
of
looks
Tsushima?
sick,
yeah.
dude. Yeah.
That was announced for summer 2020,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. Summer 20. That's the game.
Yeah.
Was Summer 2020.
Yeah, that was the summer.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got like the lineup.
looks-
PlayStation 4's
the blood tech
roadmap.
is still crazy.
Blood
Oh,
tag,
yes.
dude. Yeah.
Blood tag.
It looks
Looking
really.
good.
It just looks a lot like Sekiro to me. Kinda.
Looks good.
Looks like a grounded Sekiro, though, right? There's nothing like
Supernatural.
supernatural
Right.
happening.
I think your main character might be supernatural to some extent.
I think he wants people to think he is, but I don't think he necessarily is.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that.
yeah,
like Batman style.
using
But they
like
say like some say he
science to
died.
create
But I don't
some
think you're
like,
gonna be, like-
cool like little tools that people like.
Yeah.
That's how's he do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna fight like demons necessarily or anything like that, though.
That
'Cause
Chinese
it's like rooted in history.
that Chinese
more so.
game with the lady with the blindfold on was like straight up Sekiro.
No,
Nanaka,
Nanaka.
Nanaka. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you had the grappling.
They have
hook.
a grappling hook that
That
you can
one,
grapple
yeah.
onto people. But
Yeah, that was
This
cool.
like they focus a lot on horseback riding in this. The
Yeah.
second part of this, like
Yeah.
riding your horse, jumping off your horse.
Breath of the Wild,
like,
baby.
whoa,
Follow the
that
trends.
that Shadow of the Colossus angle,
Yeah,
though,
that's
riding
what,
it.
yeah. Brad nailed it. It was like,
Yeah.
yep, they preserve that cinematic look because they kept touting this is a very cinematic experience, and I feel like it nailed it. It
Yeah.
looked,
If I got fields, I want a horse.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, why not?
while we're shouting things out, shout out to Fire Emblem Three Houses and Disco Elysium winning cool awards.
yeah.
So Three Houses was best strategy and player's
And
voice.
Player's voice,
Yes.
And Disco Elysium was, let's see, best fresh indie, best RPG, and best narrative, best
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Best narrative. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Deserved.
Yeah. Disco. Oh, man, I gotta play that game.
You gotta. I am so curious what the rest of you guys are gonna think about Disco Elysium.
Okay.
I've been playing.
I think I told Brad, it was like as soon as I started playing it, and like it just seems like you wrote it.
Yeah, he actually said that to me.
Seems
Yeah.
like Ian wrote it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I
wow.
can see
Very
that.
flattered by that.
I could
Thank
see
you,
that.
brother.
Spicy question before we move on. If Xbox Series X is a more powerful console than the PlayStation 5, could we see MLB The Show 2022 be best on Xbox?
Hilarious.
They would totally say that. If their hardware is more powerful than Sony, they'll say that for like every multiplayer.
Would they allow it to happen though? Would they allow
don't
the
know.
game to be best on Xbox?
I don't know. If it's on PC, it'll probably be
would
best
they-
on PC.
Would
Yeah.
they even allow it?
I mean, like Death Stranding would be best on PC.
I don't
It's
know.
just
Like,
inevitable.
I feel like the marketing on that's going to be a lot more like the Minecraft trailer that was this week, where like it's on everything, and they're just going to celebrate it's on everything, and they're not going to talk about the differences because you can just play with everybody,
I mean, Minecraft is a lot different though than MLB The Show as a
Sure.
graphical showpiece.
obviously. But I just think that they won't. The game's going to look so good anyways. Like with these next gen, like I don't know.
I think it
I
could
think
be a
they'll
big
say
problem.
it like they do with everything on every trailer. If it's a multiplat, plays best on Xbox. Why would
Yeah.
they stop doing that?
Well, we're
Because
talking about
it's a
Sony
selling.
is the one
I
making
know,
the
but it's a
trailer.
selling point
I
for
think
them.
they're all
Like,
gonna
if
say-
Sony says you cannot do that, then maybe. But if they don't say
But
anything,
that's the thing. The Sony is the one making the trailer.
Sony's
Whenever
still
you
the
see
publisher.
those tags,
I'm just saying, like
Xbox has put it.
they
you
could
know,
tag their own little thing on it, Bloodworth. It just
Xbox
right at the beginning.
doesn't put out the trailer though.
No, it's just,
They just
yeah,
give them a
Sony's
tag.
the publisher.
Hey, I'm just
so
saying,
they
business
handle all
is
the
dirty,
marketing
dude.
materials. Like
Yeah.
Microsoft can't override Sony's marketing materials for the box artwork and say we're gonna also stamp on this. Sony would be like, well, nope, we don't approve that.
Right.
What if
We're the
MLB does
publisher,
though?
you
Brad,
know.
I'm saying business is so dirty that there's no way Sony allows that game to be
All right,
best on
all right,
Xbox.
all right,
I bet they will throttle it on
Oh,
Xbox.
you're suggesting even
Sabotaging
more.
it.
Yeah, and I mean, not sabotaging, but like just keeping
Oh,
it
they're-
equal
they're
to
I
it.
mean,
They're
that's
tanking.
sabotaging it.
Yeah. I just can't imagine it, man. It is a hypothetical
It's gonna
scenario.
be best on Switch.
Yeah, best on Switch.
There you go.
I love a follow-up. we're gonna we're gonna have to cut to the second half. So last week, was that last week? We heard from the non-casual. There was someone who wrote in.
Oh yeah.
Had a casual girlfriend who only played League of Legends.
Oh, yeah, you told me,
whereas
dumper.
Who's like super hardcore.
Yeah, he plays 100 games a year. She only plays League of Legends and Animal Crossing and the
Stardew
farming game,
Valley,
Stardew
yeah.
Valley. Yeah. We got a response from her.
Oh,
She
From
wrote
her?
in. Yeah, he asked her to. Hi, I'm not a follower or fan of the Easy Allies.
Nice.
She's hardcore, dude.
Yeah, but I have heard of y'all through Zach. I didn't remember what he exactly showed me, but was told after sending this to him that it was a betting special of some kind. Okay, so she's seen a betting special of some kind. He talks about y'all a lot. Don't let him saying casual gamer and listing off those 3 games deter you from the fact that he himself still plays these games. He played League of Legends. Sorry, we played League of Legends together last night, and he is okay at it, but getting better recently. But he plays with me randomly in the week usually. He might not be good, but he keeps me updated with all the news and stuff related to the game. Animal Crossing is one of our favorites. When we started dating around the 3DS one, when the 3DS one came out, we had many E-dates where we walked around each other's villages. I gave him my golden watering can.
Nice.
nice.
Is that
Explain
That's a
that.
big deal.
is that a
Yeah,
feature?
yeah. How big of a deal is that? Yeah.
I
In
don't
some
remember.
cultures, they're married.
I don't remember the significance.
I mean,
but
it
yeah.
worked out, yeah.
And some,
It's not easy to get.
Stardew Valley. We have a shared farm in that game that we revisit from time to time. He just loves playing games, and he plays a lot of story-heavy ones that I just can't be bothered with. Casual? I have no idea. It seems like something he would say. Lol. He has a tendency to be very analytical and super excited over things that I myself don't really think about, especially when it comes to things like games and film. He's very into /why/how things are made. But me, I like to enjoy stuff and play in the worlds I enjoy. He is very, very, very passionate, and I love hearing him talk about things he likes even if I don't get it. LNR, Zach Quest, and Alex. It's fun.
Love that response.
Yeah, we got
So good.
her side of the story. I like that. Let's do one more.
If you're playing League all the time,
Yeah.
I don't know if you can be called a casual.
That's the hardest of the hardcore.
Yes.
everyone plays League.
Panel. I'm angry.
Whoa.
Yeah, I love.
Oh, is that the question or you?
No, if you kick in with if you're cheesed, I'm gonna pay attention. I perk up. The new trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind brought with it new details, a release date, a price, and, to my frustration, the old chestnut argument that this should have been in the base game.
Sure.
Is this opinion any different to calling the developers lazy? Sure, there is a location in the trailer that is cut content from the base title, but to insinuate a developer held this content back to charge you again is just icky. Call me innocent, but I don't believe any developer would do exactly this. Planned before release? Sure. But that's smart project management. What does the panel think? Does this irritate anyone as much as it seems to me? Love and respect, gentlemen. Chris. P.S. I proposed to my partner last weekend, and the gentleman going on in the background is you, of course. Thanks to you, fine folk, for keeping her so oblivious to what was coming. That makes me uncomfortable.
I didn't even understand that.
Yeah, what?
Read that again.
So this
Translation?
person put on the Easy Eyes podcast in the background and then proposed
proposed.
to his partner.
oh.
During it.
Yeah.
To keep him off
Hey, great.
balance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not comfortable with that.
Hey, he seemed happy about it. so-
Yeah, I mean,
I
it
encourage it.
works.
Hey, you put your stuff out there.
It lulled the partner into a stupor.
Numb to their brain.
Yes. Like, please, and just make this stop. Just turn the
Sure,
yes,
yes,
God. Yeah,
We're
fine.
going down
Yes,
this road,
fine.
I guess.
Okay, but to the topic at hand, Blood, you had a take.
Congratulations, also.
Yes, congratulations.
Yeah, would they say something about insinuating that they held it back to
to charge for
people?
it later, yeah.
To me, that's not the same thing as saying this should have been in there to begin with.
Okay. Or is that what you're saying?
Because I know like that was kind of our reaction when we saw the trailer at State of Play.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, they just like collected all the things that reviewers and fans didn't like, and then they they put them in this DLC.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, if it was a reference to that reaction or similar reactions like that, it was not meant to be that we're accusing them of holding back content,
Being lazy or sketchy.
it's just like when you see
Yes.
Final Fantasy characters, and that's been like something people wanted in Kingdom Hearts to see more of, and then it doesn't show up in the base game, and then it shows up in the DLC. I think the natural reaction to people who are veterans of the series is like, oh wow, either it should have been, or maybe a better way to word it is, I really wish that was in the base game. Like I could have seen that being in there. A lot of what they showed off felt like it would have made sense being in the base game, and I think that a weird, interesting discussion versus, I mean, there obviously are examples of people withholding stuff. We love to praise Capcom right now, but there was once upon a time when they put paid DLC on discs that you already own, and you had to pay for a code to unlock it on the disc. So they were purposely
One time.
Hey, that's pretty slimy.
Also,
one time.
I can
The
only
one
think of
time
Street
was-
Fighter versus Tekken.
Yeah,
Is that what you're talking
pretty,
about?
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
slimy to do something like that. It's
All
like,
right.
hey, you paid for this, but you don't get all the content in there, so we're holding it back for you. But I think it's fair to say that when you think of a DLC or an expansion being launched, it's something that's unique and different that you could not have gotten in the base game. It's something that
Yeah.
it's going a different direction.
And I do think it makes this DLC a little less exciting.
Well, I mean, I haven't played this game or anything, so
Yeah.
not specific to this example, but another scenario that I think people who think like, oh, they're holding this back to charge us money for it, like sometimes I wonder if like they chose to make it into a DLC just to get the game out, like the base game out earlier. They're like, this was all planned to be part of it, but it'll delay the game 3 months, so let's just make it a DLC 3 months later, you know?
Oh, it came out a year. It's
Or
gonna be a year
however,
later.
Yeah, however long
Yeah.
later, whatever. But like, they delay it for that reason, you
Yeah,
know,
like
instead
Bobby.
of right,
Yeah.
right.
God,
Like,
dude.
Blood tonight has
Blood
been
is-
like
he's
all
ready to
tonight.
go. He's
That's just
ready to
the
go
podcast.
home.
Blood is like you slip up once, you're dead. You're a dead person.
Yeah, I do. I think the sweet way to look at it is that maybe this is the stuff that would have never been released in a pre-DLC world.
Sure.
right.
It just like
Well-
things get cut from games regardless.
There's 2 words I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, they would have just
International
sold it.
edition, maybe?
Final
International-
mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did final mix for every like single one.
There's like 80 versions of every Kingdom Hearts
fans
game.
know is coming.
Yeah.
I'm happy there seems to be post game stuff in it though. That like post Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff in it, which what it looks like
that
to
boy.
me. Yes.
What's his name? It
Yozora.
sounds like Sora.
Yozora.
Yeah, Yozora, dude.
Yozora.
Yeah,
True Noctis now. That's what he is.
that's the true
my
Noctis.
True
True
Noctis.
Noctis. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I never played these games.
Good.
When I hear things like Yozora.
Yozora.
It's time for Aura Wars.
Oh, sweet.
Woo!
Ladies, leave your man at home. The club is full of ballers and the pocket's full grown. And all you fellas leave a girl with her friends. Cause it's 11:30 and the club is
Or Wars.
Who wants in?
Me.
Ian. Disney Plus or Xbox Game Pass?
Oh. That's hard.
This was Aura Wars, baby.
I'm gonna say. Oh my god. I'm gonna say Games Pass, cause the only reason I bought Disney Plus is for Mandalorian, whereas Games Pass I might eventually get Star Wars stuff on there too,
Oh, jeez.
Fair.
and there are other games.
Who else is in?
Me.
All right, Brad. Reptile births or mammal births?
Reptile births, because reptiles are sweet and like busting out of the eggs pretty rad, man. Coming out like like an alien.
That's right. Yeah.
That's sick, dude.
Who's up next?
I'll get in.
Okay, Blood. This week's State of Play or this week's Nintendo Indie World Showcase?
Ooh. I'll go with Indie World.
Why?
Because I think like one of the biggest things with State of Play has been kind of like it was the tease to the Game Awards. You know, the Ghost of Tsushima. It's like, well, there's no reason to go back and watch that now because all of it was in the later trailer.
Fair. Michael Damiani.
Yep.
Winning Game of the Year at the Game Awards or getting a secret foot massage from Michael Keaton that you can never tell anyone about for the rest of your life?
Ooh. But you can't tell anyone.
You cannot tell anyone.
Gosh.
And you are unable
It's
to.
like you're on your deathbed. Like you can't even
Yes.
say it on your death because
The words would not
that'd
come
be
out.
the perfect. I would
Yeah.
like that'd be an instant pick. Like someone's like, "What's your final words?"
You grab the wrist, your child's wrist.
Massage my.
Strong hands.
No, I can't allow it. No, as long as you live, you
Oof,
may not.
I feel like the not being able to tell anyone is gonna make me go with winning Game of the Year at the Game Awards.
Okay.
Because just not being able to tell anyone sucks. Like I could go to the end, and I could just tell one person. They don't even have to believe it. I don't have to have proof. I just don't have to believe it. I just want to be able to do that reveal.
Yeah.
That's the biggest reveal. It's bigger than any reveal at the Game Awards.
So, Ian, you made a great case, but unfortunately you said Games Pass.
Oh man, I always do that.
Yeah, it's a frequent mistake amongst lots of people, and I'm afraid I cannot award you the victory. I think it's going to Damiani for the heart take. He went for the heart.
Yeah,
He really gave a sincere, heartful answer. So Damiani, you win or
What the hell am I
worse.
supposed to do about reptile births and mammal births?
No, Brad, I gotta say you put in a good performance.
It's like, what else could I do, man?
Yes.
To be fair, in my defense, it should be Games Pass. It's more than one game.
It should be Games Pass. I think Xbox
Game Pass.
is why it's not Games
yeah,
Pass.
Yeah, and it's like Game Pass. I don't know. Yeah,
It's Xbox Game Pass.
I honor the decision of the Dark Prince of Nerd Media.
Sure.
Ladies, leave your man at home. The club is full of ballers and the pocket's full of chrome. And all you fellas, leave your girl or friends, 'cause it's 11:30 in the club.
Or wars.
Oh man, I just
finish
looked at
it,
the
Kyle.
clock and I was like, oh my god, it
That's
is.
slow jam. I was getting into it. Ladies, leave your man at home.
Can I ask you a
Club's
quick question
full
about
of
Or Wars,
bars.
Kyle?
Yeah,
the
what's
history
up?
of Or Wars.
Yeah.
Did you ever do one of the opening songs? Was it the theme song that's used in Chuck? I forget what it's called.
You asked me about Chuck like a couple days ago.
What-
Damiani.
hold
What's
on.
going on?
Yeah.
Help
you
me
want
out.
a
What is
Chuck
Chuck?
bridge?
What is Chuck?
Down, dun 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 dun, down. I don't know the lyrics. It's like I want a
Chuck.
girl
Oh,
in a
yes.
long
Short skirt, long jacket, by
jacket.
Cake, apparently.
I
Do you do
can't-
that one?
So Jones, no, he karaoke'd that song when we did the Rock Band stream.
Oh, okay.
Jacket. Yeah.
Yes.
I remember.
And, like, I can't. That song gives me the heebie-jeebies, and Jones gives me the heebie-jeebies because of that one night.
Wow.
Okay.
Just like Jones, like talking about the kind of girl he wants, and that, like, us, man, just
Is there a
eternal,
recording of this?
eternal heebie-jeebies, dude. Let me tell you about patreon.com/Easy Allies. It'd be a website you would go to if you want to learn more about the Easy Allies, the types of things that we do, the types of videos that we make. Patrons who give us $5 or more a month get this podcast 2 days early. They get it on Fridays as opposed to Sundays. This is like a sneak peek of a commercial-free podcast, right, Blood? we could say that. Yeah. Oh, yes, Ian,
Yeah.
thank you so much. It was worth connecting this television because I almost forgot about shout-outs. What's up?
Excuse us, my final word.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna
Damn it.
I was gonna tell you to do it.
Yeah, so shout-outs is a new tier that we have to basically replace our former sponsorship tiers. They're just basically people who deserve the shout-out because they're giving us a lot of money.
I mean,
Was I
yeah.
supposed
Yeah.
to explain all this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not.
What? It's like that's why I wanted to call them golden shout-outs because like we should give a shout-out all the time, right?
Sure.
Plat shout outs.
We got a Ghost of Tsushima got a shout-out
Yeah,
and they didn't
damn.
spend a cent on it.
Well, they spent a lot of money probably. Maybe
All right,
on the
these-
trailer.
That's what they're paying for, to be on the same echelon as these other
This is why
if you want to be
Kyle's
like Sucker Punch.
I mean, but that's the thing is
Dark
like,
nerd.
to some extent,
Dark
you know,
Prince,
like
nerd media.
some people are paying for the shout out, but like for in a lot of sense, like they're just paying because that tier exists, and like that's as much.
I get what you're
That's the
saying.
highest amount of money. I mean, they could theoretically give higher, but like that's the highest amount of money. You know, we give them a platform to give.
I will say though that these 5 people or entities are as good as Ghost of Tsushima.
Correct.
Okay. Shout outs to Elthanis, Greg the Dark Knight Kettering, Caleb Togi Crawford, Will Schmuck, and FantasyCritic.games. To each of you, shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out. Bradley Ellis.
Yeah.
Because you didn't win Aurors. No. Michael Damiani.
Because Damiani
I usually do, though.
Yeah, you usually do.
Kyle's got a new policy
I was thinking
here.
about like, man, just cracking out of the eggs. You were right. Okay, so Michael Damiani.
In that case, it would have just been you thought your prompt was funny.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Michael Damiani, you get the right and responsibility to share your Twitter handle with the world. You get to promote any Easy Eyes video like you would like to promote. You get the final word, anything you've disagreed with, want to reiterate, or just popped into your head. And you get to sign off with your trademark sign off. Take it away.
You can follow me on Twitter at Damianicus. The video I'd like to promote is the upcoming Easy Updates on Saturday night. It is a good one.
What is it? Can you give me a tease?
All I could say is it involves, obviously, Ian, Kyle Bossman, and Michael Damiani.
Oh, that's this weekend?
Yeah.
This is a good one. That's a good
That's a
episode.
good one.
Yeah, that's a good. That's a good.
You got it.
Cool.
Last word. I feel that the only reason that people might be so down on the Game Awards isn't because there was a lack of big Nintendo announcements. Obviously, it was because Joker failed to perform and let us all down. So, Joker fans, you need to let Joker know he was a big disappointment tonight. May the way of the hero lead to the Triforce.
What I'm not a humongous fan of is Final Fantasy VII. What I am a huge fan of is marketing campaigns.
Sexy.